Hey, what's going on? This is Robert. Thank you so much for tuning in to Station Square. Let me just get comfy. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. We have another special guest here. You might recognize him a lot in the those Sonic the Hedgehog videos, and he also does his own channel where he makes a lot of content and dubs and projects, so on and so forth. Oh, and also he's my kind of like my co-director, boss. I still have no idea how it all works, but yeah, we're doing a dub of Sonic versus Knuckles Gaia Complex. This is MC or Matt Clemens. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I know
It's
it
great
kind
to
of
be
took
here.
some time. Yeah, it kind of took a little bit of time, but yeah, we're just really happy that we're finally doing this, and I'm just on a roll today, and it is really hot outside. So, what better way to record an episode? Am I right?
Indeed. Let me turn up the gain a bit.
Okay,
There
sure.
we go. All right.
So yeah, how is everything? Like, how's your 2025? Just share everything that you're kind of, doing, working on. I know I kind of said some of what you're kind of up to. So yeah, just share with the audience what you do and yeah, what projects that you're currently, working on even as we speak.
I'm working on several projects. I do mostly comic dubs, mostly based on Sonic, though I have been branching out to more projects like Mario projects, SpongeBob, Looney Tunes, even a bit of Disney here and there. Mm, And yeah, I'm still working on Sonic vs. Knuckles Gaia Complex, obviously. I'm working on an original comic dub series, something my friend and wrote called Foul Play. That's being worked on right now. And yes, obviously, Unexpected Test Subjects Part 3 is still being worked on. Joanne and Andrew are still working on that. So, those in the comments, please stop asking.
Oh my gosh, it's always just that one comic that's like, when is it coming out? When is it gonna be done?
Yeah.
That type of
And I'm
thing.
also dubbing this fan comic called Sonic Boom Revisited. It'll be basically a fan continuation of the Sonic Boom comics.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because I know that for Sonic Boom, I know that technically it's sort of the franchise kind of had its run, but hey, at least it's kind of going strong and it's being continued. So, yeah, for the Sonic Boom people, like, hey, there's your taste of you know, you're seeing it continue. So,
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, you can have your treat. Like y'all are just gonna be eating, as the cool kids say nowadays. So yeah, I know we've known each other for years, but what was something that kind of drew you into acting or VO and all that stuff?
I've I've been interested in acting for a long time, particularly voice acting. Just watching different people get in front of the mic and being all these different characters really drew me in. Though the thing that really kind of solidified that's what I want to do is in 2015 I went to a Star Wars weekends and there James Arnold Taylor had his live stage show called Obi-Wan and Beyond, which he also calls Talking to Myself. Yep.
Yeah.
And he had this whole stage show where he did all these different characters and all these different voices showing what it's like being a voice actor. And I was just spellbound. But even in before the show started, we were all waiting in line for the show, and Jad himself actually came out into the line and started directing people where to go, how the line's supposed to move and all that. And you like take pictures with people, say hi to them and stuff like that. My parents didn't have their phones ready, so we didn't really get to pose for a picture. But as he went by, I went my best Obi-Wan impression. I went, "This is the line you're looking for." And he turned my way and went, "Yes, exactly." So that was like a great moment for me.
Oh my
And
gosh, yeah.
yeah, he's still one of my biggest voice acting heroes to this day. And I'm actually going to be meeting him in a couple of days.
Oh, what's good?
Yep.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm going to Houston for NostalgiaCon with one of my brothers, and we're going to be able to get to meet him in person.
No way, man. Oh my gosh. Just have a great time, man. I already went to
Yeah.
yeah, the Nostalgia Con. They had it here in Anaheim, and man, I wanted to run over there and grab it. But I'm looking at the autograph that I got from Tom Kenny, who is, of course, SpongeBob, and
Hmm.
so many other characters that you probably like. Look, if you mention Tom Kenny, I would just list off all day. And I also met
Yeah.
Rob Paulson,
Yeah.
Jim Cummings. Yeah, I can't do it, but know your weaknesses. But yeah, and I also met Jim Cummings. I have his Darkwing Duck signature over here.
Nice.
I should see if I can. I don't know if you can see very well. Yeah, there it is.
Wow.
Over there in the
Yeah.
corner. I don't know if you can really get a good view of it, but yeah. Oh, and also there's the over here is the lunch pail that or puzzle piece that I got signed by Tom. Also can't
Wow.
really see it very well, but yeah. And I also got Rob to sign his voice lessons book that he was doing,
Ooh.
because I think he also did an audiobook. Don't I haven't listened to it. I will get to it.
Hmm.
Just I'm just man, so much stuff that I
Yeah.
got on a day-to-day
Yeah.
basis.
Some more of my voice acting heroes.
Yeah. Oh, Charles Martinet. I don't know if I got a
Ooh.
sick. I got a picture with him, and I should probably share that with you once we wrap this up, if I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah. So a lot of the big, voice acting, just the Mount Rushmore people that you could kind of think about. Yeah, just pretty much a lot of them. I just still cannot believe I met all of them literally in a span of this year, man. Like, I know I mention all the time that, like, oh my gosh, D. Bradley Baker, Jim Cummings, Rob, and Maurice LaMarche, and all these guys. And it's so crazy that in the span of this year alone, I got to meet like literally almost all of them at this point, which is kind of pretty wild to me,
Yeah.
especially for something like Nostalgia Con, because like I know that that's kind of like they're also I know that is kind of on a tour, but I know that this is pretty much where look, if you're a kid that was from like the 90s, 2000s, so on and so forth, if you've seen any show on any of these channels, there's a good chance that there's an actor that's probably going to be there. And you might recognize that they might just show up for like a cameo or two. And it's just
Hmm.
like, oh hey, hi, nice to see you. Just popping by for a cameo and then just going to the next person.
Hmm.
Because yes, these events are just kind of they're a lot of fun, but they also can be kind of, oh hey, you want to see these people? Like if you're doing a day, it's like, oh hey, make sure that you catch them before they leave, before their scheduled time that they wrap up autographs. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's just kind of my experience. Like, trust me, if I were to do a convention podcast, I probably would talk about that all day long. But
Hmm.
we're here to talk about you. But yeah, James Arnold Taylor, one of my favorites. Also big Star Wars classic fan, as
Yeah.
you can see right here. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And I've gotten to voice Ratchet for several fan projects. I consider
yeah,
that
I
basically
remember.
my homage to him.
Yeah, I think I kind of remember you did a couple of those.
Yeah, like we just had, I just in an audio drama about Ratchet and Clank. It's like over 2 hours long, and
Ooh.
it's really cool. I'm really proud of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was just doing an interview with somebody like earlier today. I was just talking to somebody about doing like audio drama, audiobook stuff because because right now I've auditioned for a lot of audio, that type of stuff. And I know people are like, oh my gosh, that's like a lot of work. Honestly, they can be fun just talking about stuff that you may not know too much about, but still, you get to learn something new about it as much as the audience does. So I kind of consider that as like, educational for both you as the narrator and the audience that might be listening to it.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, again, Ratchet's basically I've been considering my homage to James Arnold Taylor, and I tried to replicate his voice as my chick hand. Is like, relax, buddy. Since when have my piloting skills ever failed me? Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we all kind of have those characters where our regular voice can kind of just fit them in a way, like for Ratchet or Sonic, so on and so forth, which we'll definitely talk about in a little bit. So, yeah, so after you got your experience in acting, because you did stage, right?
I did, and I still do.
Oh, yeah, yeah, because I think we talked a little bit about it. So, what stage stuff, what would you consider to be some of the most fun that you've done? And list some of your favorite musicals. Why not?
Yeah, yeah. I've been in a bunch of shows at my local theater. in my local community theater. I mean, doing stuff like The Little Mermaid, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Madagascar,
Oh
It's a
my
Wonderful
God.
Life, Sleepy Hollow, Newsies. I, and in another theater I was in this show called The Heiress. I was in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Recently, I was in an original sequel to Peter Pan called Hookwinked, and I've been in several iterations of A Christmas Carol.
There's like so many Christmas
Hmm.
carols out there.
Yeah,
Yeah, believe it or not, the first Christmas Carol that I've seen was I don't know if it was with Mickey Mouse or the Muppets. It was one of the two. And then I
yeah.
saw Disney do their Jim Carrey version of
Hmm.
it. So, yeah, I think that probably might have been the first one or one of the other two. So, yeah, there's a lot of Christmas carols out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I've enjoyed being part of that theater. Sadly, the
Yeah.
theater was recently hit with a pretty bad tragedy. You see, I live in the Kerr County area in Texas, and we were in July 4th,
Oh,
we were hit with a massive flood.
oh,
Thankfully, my family and I are all safe. Our house is okay, our stuff is okay. However, the theater was partially destroyed. Both the outdoor and the indoor theater were just almost completely demolished. And so
oh
it's going to
man.
take a lot of time and money to repair it and rebuild.
Man. Yeah, I remember seeing those, reading the news about that. I'm so sorry about the
Yeah.
floods and everything.
It's pretty harrowing. But
Yeah.
fortunately, my family and I are all safe.
Yeah, thank God.
Hmm.
But still, I feel bad about that.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
bunch of families in the area weren't so fortunate. Like less than a mile away from us, there is this RV camp that was completely washed away. And I live like 10 about 10 miles away from Camp Mystic, which is where all those young girls were tragically killed. It was heartbreaking.
What if I were to flip this on a more positive note? For the theater itself, what would you say were some of the most positive memories that you had from, just doing the stage and all that
Getting to
stuff?
work with different actors, being different
Yeah.
characters, and basically just have a lot of fun putting on a show. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. Which is kind of one of the joys about voice acting too, is like getting
Hmm.
to play all these different characters and getting to do your own spin on a pre-existing icon. It's like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
just kind of what makes it so much fun and just putting your own spin on it. Like Sonic or Ratchet, like you just
Hmm.
shared with me. Anything's kind of it's really fun just taking a character, just putting your own personality to it.
Yeah. And also, you're not, also, unlike with theater, you're not limited to what you look like or how you build like. For instance, I cannot portray Dr. Eggman on stage, but I can do him in voice.
Yeah, I mean, you could kind of take that and kind of tweak it, and that could kind of become an original character.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and since we're kind of on the subject of Sonic, what was something that kind of, what was your Sonic kind of story of getting into the series and so on and so forth?
Yeah. Back in 2008, I was at my kids' church had a few video game consoles, and they had some Sonic games. Like they had Mario and Sonic in the Olympic Games on the Wii. They had Sonic Riders on the PlayStation 2, and the Sega Mega Collection Plus on Xbox. And I really got to know the characters and see what they're like, and it kind of intrigued me. And I also got to see like a few episodes of Sonic X, particularly the one where Sonic meets Helen, the girl in the wheelchair. It really tugged at my heartstrings, and I really felt connected to Sonic as a character, and I really enjoyed that. Then in 2010, I moved on to the youth groups, which didn't have any Sonic games, so I kind of lost interest for a while, though I always held a high respect for Sonic, and kind of forgot about him. Then in 2019, the first movie trailer came out. Yes, that one with the ugly Sonic. But it was enough to remind me, oh yeah, Sonic is a thing. And I ended up watching all the game cutscenes on YouTube since now I had access to the internet. And I really got to know what the characters were more. or see all these different stories, the complex characters. Like back in like the early days, I didn't. I had seen like most of the Sonic cutscenes of Sonic 06, and I didn't get to finish it. So I only saw the cutscenes from Sonic's perspective, and I didn't finish it. So for the longest time, I thought Silver was a villain. Why was I in for Awakening here when I got back into the franchise?
That was kind of the same with me. I honestly thought that the Chaotix were villains, but no,
Uh-huh.
you just play the games from like beginning to end, like from '91 up until now, and it really does check out. It really does.
Yep. And then a few months later, in like that fall, I ended up stumbling upon a video by this guy named Belina Productions
Yep.
uh, called Sonic and Camping Chaos, which had Sonic and Tails going on a camping trip. And I watched it and I was like, a fan did this? This is amazing. And so I started getting into more fan content and it really drew me in.
Yeah,
And like after when the pandemic hit, it was one of the things that kept me going was watching Sonic content.
yeah. I'm trying to remember because I shared this story before, but my Sonic story was I okay. I'm gonna date myself a little bit, but it was one of those Dreamcast generator demos that they had back when the Dreamcast was kind of still like a new thing. And I had it on a PC, and then one of the games was the Sonic Adventure demo. So I played the demo of it, and I loved. And then right from the get-go, I just fell in love with it. And then I started playing the Game Boy Advance stuff, Sonic Advance, and then started playing the classic games because, of course, yeah, you gotta play with you gotta, nothing can beat the classics. So I grew up with the series right around the dark age of Sonic. I don't know what to
Hmm.
call it now because I think a lot of people are starting to have more of a. Can I put this? It's starting to have more of like a. Oh, okay, so maybe it's not really all that terrible, but maybe people are starting to have more of like a softer, like more of a soft spot towards it. So it's kind of
Hmm.
like if it's not the dark age, it's more like the underrated Jim? I don't know. But
Yeah.
it's kind of like that era where it's like, oh my gosh, people were mocking Sonic, but now with games like '06 or Unleashed, the storybook games, it's just kind of like, oh, okay, this is actually kind of peak. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
And
mean,
then we got
yeah, I
yeah,
mean, yeah, I mean that was the era where I was
yeah, the
introduced to
Jason
Sonic,
Classic. Yeah.
so that's what I really gravitate towards.
Yeah, because I started with, Ryan Drummond in the Dreamcast era, then we got the Jason era, and now we're at the Meta Roger-ish.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, it's still going on after all this time. Oh my gosh, 15
Hmm.
years. But yeah, I'm just like, I think those are kind of like the two eras that I kind of because I know that like with the Sonic community in general, like we could talk about the fan base and so on and so forth, but I just really think that Sonic is one of those franchises where you could grow up in any era and have this be like your soft spot or like the era that kind of got you into the series. Like for me, it was the Dreamcast. It was kind of even debatably for kids, and I know that not everything from that era was really all that great, but I just really love the whole atmosphere, the personalities, and just the everything that just really came out of Sonic. Just so much content that came out, the games, the shows, and now we're getting the movies, which is kind of its own little thing. But yeah, I just really think that Sonic is still going strong and really shows no signs of stopping. And with the 35th anniversary that's coming out, it's really a franchise that is not stopping anytime soon.
Indeed.
Yeah. So for you, who would you say? Because you mentioned Bellina Productions, and I also watched his Sonic Zombie series. I know, yuck, 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 Koopa Joopa, but I also love the Christmas with Sonic
Oh
series.
yes, I love that
Yeah.
series.
Yeah, and also the Camp and Chaos. And here's hoping that the Scared Stupid actually gets finished.
Yes.
Ugh. Yeah.
Do it
So
for Mel. Do it for
yeah,
Sydney.
do it for Mel. Yeah. Love you guys. Love you all so much. Love you, Rihanna, Steve, and Sydney. Yeah, you rock. All of y'all rock. So, yeah, who would you also say are some of your people that you also really love so much and consider to be some of your close friends.
Well, when I first started voice acting like summer 2021,
Mhm.
and with this when okay, a little backstory. It was actually Sonic's birthday, 2023, June 23rd. Okay, even further back, and and seen this website called BehindTheVoiceActors.com, which had a casting call at the time. And I was like, well, this seems interesting. But I didn't have my microphone or anything at the time, so I was like, eh. And then I ended up seeing this casting call for a project called Nintendo High. And it looked very interesting to me. And I was like, well, this looks like a fun project, but I don't have a microphone and anything, so I just let it go by. And then it was Sonic's birthday, 2021, June 23rd, the same day the Sonic Symphony came out, where I saw episode 2 of Nintendo High had come out. And so I watched it, and it was great. And I really enjoyed it. I was like, I could have been a part of this. And that's when I decided enough was enough. So by that time, I had my microphone. So a few days later, I started sending out auditions, and went into the casting call and started sending auditions. The first project I sent auditions for was this project called Supersonic Squad by this guy named Coliosis, and I ended up getting a part as an adult Chris Thorndike. And, and yeah, pretty much one of the most beloved characters in the Sonic franchise. But I didn't care. I was like, I got cast in a Sonic project, and and Cole ended up liking my performance so much he ended up later giving me the roles of Sonic and Waluigi in that same project. And then later he ended up casting me as Ratchet in another project he's working on called PlayStation All Stars. And I still voice for him to this day. And he was the voice of Knuckles for me for a long time. Recently he retired from voice acting. But yeah, we're still good friends to this day. And anyway, around that time he asked if I had Discord, and I didn't at the time. So I ended up joining Discord, and that's when something else interesting happened. Flashback a few months earlier, or I'd seen this guy named Pixel Rush. This animator named Pixel Rush was opening up for voice actors, and as I was interested, but again, I didn't have my own microphone at the time, and I saw it was on Discord, so I just let it go by. But somehow, when I joined Discord, it remembered that I had clicked on to Pixel Rush's Discord thing, and it ended up getting me right into his server. And that's where I ended up meeting another one of my closest friends and inspirations, Cashlyn Snow. And she really helped me crawl, walk, and run as a voice actor. I don't think I'd be where I am at today if it wasn't for her.
Yeah, and also Alyssa, who I
Yep.
interviewed a few times. Yeah, Morales, love you, love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so many great people out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Alyssa's great. I didn't really get to know her until a few couple years into my voice acting, but we've become good friends, and we actually got to meet in person at the Sonic Symphony in Houston. And
no, yeah, that's
she
so
claims it.
cool.
Yeah, she claims I'm the first internet friend she's ever gotten to meet in person.
That is
I
awesome.
consider that like she's been voice acting for many, many, many years, even longer than I have, and I'm somehow the first one he met in person. I consider that a huge honor.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's just it's really cool when you get to meet so many. Like I know when we met at Sonic
Yep,
Revolution, I think.
yep.
Yeah, and it was like,
Or
man,
really, Eggman Revolution.
yeah, Eggman. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. It was just so weird just seeing I mean not really weird, but it's like, oh my gosh, I'm just seeing so many people just in person and I'm like, oh wow. Because I met Sydney, I met God, who else was there? Like I know there was a lot. Oh yeah, Ultimate Voice Actor
Yes,
and
yeah,
yeah,
Ultimate
Gap,
Voice
yeah.
Actor. Yeah, Ultimate Voice Actor and Sydney are both two of my close friends,
Yeah.
especially Ultimate. He and I are like brothers at right now. Even
Oh
though been
yeah.
and I got and both at Revo and at the Expo and the Sonic Expos, I got to meet more of my fellow voice actors and friends like Chad Amy Lover 95. I met Andrew HVA. I met
Andrew, yeah, I think I met him
Dr.
too. Yeah,
Kelp,
yeah, yeah.
Irena Rooney. I
Oh
met
yeah.
Josh Hodgson and Supersonic Mikey,
I think I met all of them at Revolution.
Rockstar 75 Productions, Sonic Boone.
Yeah.
And, uh, who else? True Blue, Doom the Meme Queen, and Mr. JPEG.
Yeah.
I met, who else have I met? Maggie Elise, and he's, yeah, briefly met Emsbury. Who else have I met? Give me a minute. I met Wade Motions. I met Yoshi Tales 13, Noah. I met and Call Me Ryan, Landy RS, yes, Me Tunes, and a bunch of others.
Yeah. I still find it
Oh,
funny that. Oh, continue.
and of course Kevin.
Oh yeah, we all love. Hi, Kevin.
We all love Kevin, and
Yeah.
Goken-san, and many other people I've gotten the chance to work with.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I still find it
Some of
funny
my
that
best friends.
yeah, out of all, because I met like people like Steve, Emmy Jones, and so on and so forth. Sonic Song. Who else?
I got to meet
Adrenaline.
Steven.
Yeah.
I got to meet Steven Page and Sonic Song 182. Yeah, Emmy Jones wasn't there when I was there,
Yeah.
and she had to cancel.
Yeah. Wishing you well, Emmy. Like, hope everything's going well. Still looking forward to, Sonic and Tails R whenever season
Sonic and
two
Tails
comes.
are goaded.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Let me see. I know there's like way too many that I'm just leaving out. I really think it's so funny how of all the people that you
Oh, and
mentioned,
I got to meet Victor McKnight, is another one. Trey Nobles.
yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, I got to interact with Trey Nobles since we were both volunteering at the Sonic Expo. I met Polly
Nice.
B. It's another great one.
Yeah. I was gonna say too, Ad Revolution. It's funny that out of all the names that were coming up, the one that is kind of starting to stick stand that was I remember that's starting to stand out was okay, so you mentioned all of these people and these are all really great friends of mine, but
Just a few more. I also met like Cam VA. I met
oh
Rainboon
yeah,
Blitz,
okay, yeah.
and I met Drowsy's Rocket
Yeah, I was about to say too, but out of all of them, I think it's so funny that
and
LS
Sonic
Mar
News Network. I got to meet a couple times,
oh
and
yeah.
Artistic Cons. Yeah, I know I'm rambling.
I know, yeah, it's all good, but it's so funny how you mention all these names. Alice Mark and Veronica, I think that's her name. Yeah, Alice Mark was there at Sonic Revo one year, and just don't know why. He just kind of stands out to me in a way.
Yeah,
I mean, he
yeah,
does review, yeah,
I
which
saw
I
him
thought was
there.
really surprising. Yeah,
I saw an LS Mark plushie in his booth. I was like, oh, he's got an LS Mark thing. I didn't know that was him. So later,
it was actually,
after the event, I was like, wait, that was him?
yeah, but like to be fair, I think he went to Revo like a few years or so ago, and I didn't even know he was there. And then he had his own booth, and yeah, like him and I think his girlfriend were there. So they were at the booth, and yeah, that's how I know that. Oh, okay, so yeah, nice to see. I think it was really funny though. I was not expecting him but yeah, he's a great dude. And I think Steve actually got to voice act in his little animation a while back, so that's really a great thing. Yeah. So just a few more questions and then we'll wrap it up. What would you say is your favorite Sonic type of anything? Game, sure, just list off anything. And what's your favorite project to work on?
I like some of my favorite Sonic stuff include like the movies, obviously, Sonic and the Black Knight, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic
Yeah.
Frontiers. I really enjoyed Sonic X Shadow Generations, Sonic X, Sonic Boom. And
Yeah.
as far as projects I've worked on, I obviously love working on Sonic and the Autobots with Rui and other animations Rui's been in. And he's done. And I enjoyed working with like Sherry Doodles. I enjoyed working. I got to voice in a few Gabaleth videos. I got to voice Wario in a few Gabaleth videos. And I enjoyed doing the Sonic radio specials with Andrew.
It's another great one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those would be like your favorite type of projects to work on. Now, what
Mainly projects
character?
I've done with my friends.
Yeah, which is a great thing because, friendship is what makes friendship is magic, as I kind of say. I know My Little Pony, but yeah. If you were to voice a Sonic character in official media, I think I kind of know the answer to this one, but who would you voice if you could?
There'd be several.
Yeah,
It would be cool to voice Sonic, like maybe Knuckles or Eggman or Shadow. I would love to be able to voice Vector.
my
And though the
gosh, yeah.
character I'd probably be most likely to get would probably be Cubot, since I voiced him in Revo and a bunch of other projects.
I think I would, like, I think if they ever bring the IDW characters in the official games, I would just, you know, I know there's a lot of people who would be Starlight. I mean, I would like to
Yeah,
take a crack at him, but
yeah. Like
I
Ultimate does an amazing star line.
yeah, and I mean, whenever I think about Starlight, it's Ultimate or Sword T40.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
probably should also mention him. Probably should bring him on the show at some point. So, hey, if
yeah.
you're watching this, Dante, hit me up. Hit me, just saying. Let me see. Do. So, what would you rather want to do? Like, when it comes to in any Sonic game, like, I'm just gonna do steal from Andrew and just do a would you rather. Would you rather hang out with Chris Thorndike or just be stuck with Starline surrounded by whatever?
Probably Chris Thorndike. At least with him, I get to hang out in a nice mansion. And he actually seems like a pretty nice guy. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like the thing where everybody just loves to bash on Chris Thorndike, but
Yeah,
honestly, when you really look back, he's not. I mean, yeah,
yeah.
like he is a kid and he kind of can be annoying, but honestly, I don't really. He's nowhere near the worst Sonic character. Trust me, there's others
No,
that I would mention, but yeah,
yeah,
I don't want to say it on here, but yeah,
yeah. I've never
Chris,
gotten the Chris Thorndike hate.
yeah. I mean, I don't. He might not be one of my favorites, but I don't really think he's all that bad. He's just
Hmm.
harmless.
No.
Yeah. So I see that we're almost running out of time here. What's the last bit of advice that you want to close us out on? And share your socials, just self promo, just any bit of last stuff that you wanted to throw out there.
Well, this world can get crazy sometimes. You may not know what life's gonna throw at you, or what the future's gonna hold. But just remember, you've got this. Running on, keep running the race, and be as cool as you are.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's a pretty good note to end this out on. Where can people check out your stuff?
I'm on YouTube and Emcee Voices. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr. Just check me out.
Yeah. And as for the outro, would you be up to saying your name, what characters you've done? And this is Station Square with Robert Jackson.
All right. This is Matt Clemens, also known as Emcee Voices, the voice of Sonic, Knuckles, Dr. Eggman, Shadow, Orbot, Cubot, Vector, SPO, and many, many, many other characters. And you're watching Station Square.
Awesome. Yeah, we did it. Woohoo! So know your Sonic characters without actually saying you know it's Yeah, that type of game. So it's like the meme where it's like, say you're without actually saying it. So thank you so much for watching. And yeah, stick around next time. Be sure to check out Sonic vs. Knuckles Gaia Complex whenever that comes out. And yeah, let me see. Any closing thoughts? No further movies? I'm out of here. I just like running better. There you go. There's my Ryan Drummond. Yeah, that's my Sonic closing line. But thank you so much, and have a good day, and take care.
See you
Peace out,
around.
homies. See ya.